I've
Healthy
not,
water.
I've not heard of it, but I do drink White Claw, so I'm not judging, man. So,
Yeah. Oh my
dude, throw a shot of tequila in a White Claw, it's fucking game over.
god.
With a little tahini on top,
Ooh.
fucking bomb.com.
The following show is being broadcasted from an undisclosed location. Two former special operators have combined their badassery and now sharing it with the world.
They ain't alive no more.
All with a beer and a smile. This is the Savage Actual Podcast. And now your hosts, combat vets with 20-plus deployments between the two of them and enough testosterone to operate the power grid of Los Angeles. Savage Actual. Now your hosts, Jason and Patrick.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Jason with Savage Actual. This is podcast Savage Actual, and today I've got my co-host Patrick, and we've got a very, very special guest. I've known the guy for a long time. His name is Luke Hamilton. He's a prior Marine jarhead of the Jarhead tribe. But I met this dude in sniper school in 2007, so we go way back. It's an honor to have him on the show, and thanks for joining us, brother.
Honor's mine, Jason. Honor's mine.
Yes. Welcome, Luke. Welcome.
Thanks,
so,
guys.
Yeah, I went to school. How old were you in fucking sniper school, man?
Bro, I was such a boot in sniper school. I was so scared. I had to get hastily promoted to even go, bro.
Oh, really? What was it? Did you have to be a corporal?
Lance Corporal. I was a PFC.
Oh shit! You weren't even a Lance Corporal? Holy hell!
Yeah, I went straight from SOI basically into the sniper platoon because my unit wasn't back from their deployment to Iraq yet. I had like 2.5 weeks, but there was a transferring platoon sergeant from, if I forget what unit, Sergeant Dole, and he was the scout sniper, a platoon sergeant for whatever unit he came from. And he trained like me and like 3 other kids that had the qualifying stuff, like ASVAB, rifle score, PFT. Yeah. And he had us, and he didn't really explain to us what we were getting into. He was just kind of like, yeah, it's cool. Like snipers do all the cool shit. But then the unit gets back and we start learning pretty quick about what it is to be a sniper.
So you went from SOI to sniper school, and you were supposed to go to, because I mean generally you get orders for your unit. What was your unit supposed to be?
So I went straight to 3-4 and 2.5 weeks with Sergeant Dole, and then the unit comes back, and then I think I had like 2 months, and then I went to sniper school.
I did not know that, bro. I mean, I knew you
were
young.
PFC, and they had to promote me and this one other guy to go.
But that wasn't Uribe, was it?
No, that was Rob Morse.
I don't remember.
Now, were you part of 3-4's like state platoon?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, I got you.
The end doc and everything.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and for you listeners out there, state platoon is
with surveillance
and target acquisition.
Yes. Yeah, brain fart right there. We'll cut that out. There's so many fucking acronyms, man. But we'll get back to sniper school. For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I just wanted to tell you guys, like, this is where I met this guy, and it's been some years now. So we're gonna back it up, and this is something I'm excited about. This is pretty new to us, so we're gonna jump into more into the man in the uniform and not so much the uniform. So I want to hear Luke's story. So, like, where are you from, man? Like, tell us where you started walking.
San Antonio, Texas, man. About 15 minutes from where I am now.
Shit.
Born and raised. Only time I really left was Marine Corps. I've spent most of my life here, other than the Marine Corps, and I never really lived anywhere else. I love San Antonio as a city. It's a great city. It's getting a little crowded now. From what I remember as a kid, it was a lot less crowded. But grew up here in San Antonio, and pretty much been here ever since.
Nice. And what year was it? Like 2006 or whatever? You joined the Marine Corps?
Yeah, I joined the Marine Corps in 2006, and I was almost 20. So I went to a year and a half of college. Well, I shouldn't say went. I tried.
What happened there?
I just fucking hated it. And the invasion had already happened. Lily was already getting some, and I didn't know him at the time, but that's all I was watching. I was partying and watching war videos from coming out of Iraq while I was going to, maybe a class a week that I would attend. And I was finally just like, you know what, fuck school. Because it just didn't, I had no interest in going to any class, and there was no reason for me to do it. I was wasting my money. I was getting in debt, wasting my money.
So was that something that was kind of always in the back of your mind to, hey, I've considered the military, I just wasn't ready to pull the trigger?
Oh yeah, as a kid growing up, for sure. My childhood was basically spent outside, raised by a single mom, basically. And my whole childhood, movies pretty much gave me my outlook on life and
basic education.
Yeah. All the movies I watched were war movies, and it was always. I was always known I was going to do it. I was just trying to please my mom by going to college or trying to go to college. But yeah, it didn't work out too well.
Yeah. So out of all the branches, man, well, that's a skip ahead of a question I was going to ask next. Actually, it's a school, bro. Like, what's those formative years, man? Like how has school grown up for you?
Man, growing up for me wasn't really actually school. I don't really have many memories of school. It was just me and my friends that I had the most memories with. I really didn't take much away from school, honestly, and most of my friends, which is pretty cool. I still have probably 4 or 5, probably my best friends since I've known, maybe middle school. I've known, and I'm still friends with them today. They all still live here.
Awesome.
We're pretty much brothers, I guess. But yeah, school wasn't really top of the agenda for me, even high school. Middle school is when I started not liking school and kind of figuring out it's all a scam and a big system that's just, But most of my memories are skipping school with my friends and just, fucking off as kids,
Yeah. Did you play any sports at all?
I did. I played up until my junior year. I played basketball. Not basketball, baseball and football.
Nice. What positions in baseball, man? I'm a baseball guy myself.
Center field, right field, and football is a cornerback. Nice,
dude. So you got that team environment, at a young age.
Yeah. The coaches we had were pretty disciplined dudes. They kind of opened my eyes a little bit, I guess, for the first time, because I was fatherless basically growing up.
Yeah,
that sucks, dude. This is something crazy and I tell people this. So I grew up in upstate New York, and the school that I went to had a rifle team, and down in the basement they had, I don't even know what it was, maybe a 50-meter range or whatever with the rubber backstop and all that stuff.
Badass.
We had issued shooting jackets, and we shot 22 rifles with the Olympic looking sights on them, the really crazy steel sights. Yeah, it was really cool. I'll tell you what, it definitely was an interesting thing to grow up shooting like that. And I only did it for a couple of years, but it was super interesting, especially going into the Marine Corps and sitting down with the primary marksmanship instructors in boot camp and them explaining all this stuff. I'm like, oh yeah, I've fucking been doing this before, but it was crazy because it was always to go and shoot against another school, which nobody really has that stuff. It was get on the bus and 2.5, 3 hours later, you get to the other school. And then it's same thing, 3 hours later coming home. It's just holy shit. But yeah, I have yet to hear of anybody else that ever had anything like that in their school. And
we didn't have anything like that, but that would have been cool. I probably would have been interested in that, Yeah, I got my first gun when I was 5, I think. I got a bolt.
Oh, really?
Too, yeah.
I beat guns.
You said it would be great. Bolt action 22?
Yeah, a little single shot bolt action 22, man.
Nice.
So, did you have any family members that were military at all?
Yes, both my grandfathers and my uncle was a recon Marine in NAM. So
oh wow! So there you go. That got some history. That's really. And what do they think Is he still around?
My uncle, yes, he's probably seen better days, but grandfathers aren't. They were both officers. One was a pilot, a B-25 pilot, and one was a combat engineer. Was in Korea.
Nice. So what'd your uncle think about recon when he found out that's what you were getting into?
Man, he never really talked to me about it. I do know that he was like, I do know that in his platoon in Vietnam, he was promoted from like lance corporal to like sergeant or staff sergeant in like months or something, because of the casualties they were taking.
Jesus Christ.
He became a senior Marine pretty quick, I guess. But he never really talked to me about it. He did talk to me after I graduated sniper school. He kind of just was like, all it takes is heart, really, and like never really talked about his time in Vietnam, other than, you know, it takes you know, quite a man, or quite the mindset and heart to do what we do. So
yeah, for sure, man. I mean, a lot of those guys don't, you know, it's kind of unique with the Vietnam vets, you know, they don't really talk a lot about it.
It doesn't really register for, like, they don't really, I feel like they don't even, probably way more so than we, that they didn't really have, like, war wasn't as what we were going through. Like, their war was way different than ours.
Yeah, it wasn't glamorized leading up to it outside of like.
Yeah, they didn't have YouTube and Funker and all these places to go look at videos and see, you know, definitely a different world.
So, you know, baseball, high school, you graduate, fuck around in school a little bit. So why the Marine Corps, man? Out of all the branches, like what sucked you into our tribe?
I don't really think there was another option, honestly, in my opinion. I don't really think like something drew me to the Marine Corps, other than growing up, I just knew the Marine Corps was if you're gonna go to war, join the Marine Corps, basically. A war had started. I wanted to go to war, so there was really no other choice for me in my mind. If I wanted guaranteed war, I would, you know, go to the Marine Corps. You'll find it, right?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's true.
So let me ask you, like, what were you hoping to get out of, you know, like what drew you into it, in the sense of like, fuck, I'm going to do this adventure. Like, what do you think at that time, if you could reflect back to that mindset, if you can remember, like, what you thought it was, what you were hoping to get out of it, and then once you got into it, what it actually was? Was it different? Was it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing probably, as I think everybody's reaction in going in on stepping on the yellow footprints and starting, you know, Marine Corps boot camp, I think everybody's a little surprised at what the fuck, you know, starts happening. I was, like I said, I was just used to movies. I just saw the cool shit, and then, you know, the bullshit starts. I was definitely surprised, and I was a little bit, maybe not regretful at first, but like questioning my decision. Definitely, definitely questioned my decision on multiple times, especially that first night. Like, what have I done? Type thing.
Yeah.
But then, you know, might as well make the best of it, you know? So
yeah, for sure.
And try to achieve something you didn't even, you know, have in mind. I didn't go into the Marine Corps wanting to be a sniper. I just wanted to be in the infantry, you know?
Okay.
Just kind of turned out that the timing, I mean, y'all know timing is pretty much everything in the military.
Yeah. And it's fucking random. You don't have control over it either.
So you went from, you went through boot camp and then SOI, and then did you, obviously at towards the end of that, you get your orders, you got orders to 3-4, and then did they give you an opportunity to screen for the stay platoon, or did they just say, hey, guess where you're going?
So I tried to do the, was it a recon? Was it an NDOC they did? I forgot what they did.
Yeah, they do that during SOI. They do. I remember for me, and I went through Parris Island. I was on the East Coast, and they, in the middle of SOI,
yeah,
you know, week 4 or 6, they're like, okay, if you're interested in going to recon, you can take like, they did a bunch of stuff. Like, they interviewed all the infantry guys for fucking Yankee Whites. They
Yep.
interviewed a bunch of people for different billets and stuff. So yeah, I distinctly remember the recon screening that they did.
Yeah, they did that, and then the guy who was doing that was also a scout sniper that came asking for dudes. But I think that 3-4 needed bodies so bad that everybody that was going to 3-4 didn't really have a choice. But that guy was like, you can. This isn't your only opportunity. With your ASVAB score, PFT, rifle score, you can go to the indoc when you get to your unit. And I was just like, all right, and that just kind of led me to that, down that path. And once I got to my unit, it was like, again, perfect timing. Sergeant Dole, a platoon sniper platoon sergeant that had a deployment or two, took me and a couple other guys under his wing and started teaching us just basic, scout sniper movement, tracking, stalking,
nice
definitions, and just kind of put me down the path. And it just happened. The timing just worked out perfectly, kind of thing.
And you said you were 20 or 21?
I was 20 when I got to my unit.
So do you think, we all know, like, most of the guys are 18, 19. I think they look at 20-year-olds and above that, like a little bit more mature. Do you think that had any effect on them sort of reaching out to you?
Possibly. I feel like that made it, that couple years made it, or like year and a half, not just joining when I was 18, probably helped me out a little bit. Just personally as well, wisdom wise, and kind of figuring out the world a little bit. But yeah, that probably probably put me ahead a little bit, I'd imagine.
For our listeners out there, like, SOI is School of Infantry, right? And I think it's 6 weeks, roughly. It's somewhere in that ballpark, and it's basic stuff to make. It is the MOS qualification course that actually makes you an infantryman, which is an 0311 in the Marine Corps. Army Infantry is 11 Bravo. So it's still very boot camp-ish. You got a little bit more freedom, but you're in this mass horde of students, of very young Marines. You're officially a Marine at this point. You think you've made it, right? You're still
you're hot shit. You're
still just a fucking a dumbass boot.
Yes, perfect words.
I found it for me, but I know this is the same. Like, there's so many guys you're going through at the time. It's like you're doing exactly what you're told to do, and you fall into like the roboticness of like the safety of that, just doing what you're told and not trying to stick out too much at all. So for this young man to, start thinking, I thought about recon before I even joined, but once I actually got in the fleet, I was like, dude, I want nothing to fucking do with that. I just want to be a basic Marine for a couple of years, and then maybe then. So for him to try out for the sniper aspect of it and get selected for that amongst this herd of guys, that's like, it's a pretty scary situation to fucking be in. You can easily fall into the fucking ducks in the row with the rest of the guys. And then there's some outlining dudes that just kind of get sucked into the recon and sniper and raider aspect of the Marine Corps. And it's scary out there to be on the outlying side. So I just kind of want to drive that point home that, like, it takes some balls to be so young and there's so much going on. You're getting fucking yelled at constantly. It's not like a 9-to-5 job. So it's like, you're afraid to volunteer for shit. You learn quick not to volunteer for a goddamn thing. So he stepping outside into like this kind of, there's some fear, but like, I'm going to fucking do it. Like, that speaks, pretty highly on his young mind at that fucking time. So, all right, man. So you basically get the thumbs up to fucking try out. Like, walk us through that, man. So like, you're an SOI, you fucking graduate, and then you get to 3-4, and now what?
It was pretty lax, honestly, because our unit wasn't back. So,
what's RBE, remain behind element? You had just a bunch of
I was with the turds, dude. That thought that talked a big game, but as soon as the unit got back, they disappeared. But yeah, a couple of those guys were around, but I didn't really have any interaction with them. A couple of the other boots that came from SOI did, and had to get lumped in with those guys.
That sucks.
Luckily, if Sergeant Dole wouldn't have been there, I probably would have gone straight to a
line unit.
Yeah, line unit. But Sergeant Dole was there, and the first, like, when we got off the bus, he was sitting there and there's probably, like, I don't know, maybe 20 to 40 guys that came from SOI to 3-4. then 3-4 was I think they held it. They were the most forward deployed unit in the Marine Corps, 3-4 for till 2008 or something. So they were they always needed bodies. Sergeant Dole was waiting, and he was like, "Hey, if you have this ASVAB, this PFT, and this Rifles Corps, come stand over here." And I was like, I saw a couple shitbag Marines that were on that left behind squad pulling in all these 311s and line platoon guys, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go with this guy. A couple of other guys did. I think there was 3 of us, and he just kind of kept us out, lumped us out of that bullshit, that pool of guys like you were talking about earlier, that the big herd of guys that as soon as I got to my unit, I got pulled right out of that.
Which is good, because those fucking dudes get themselves in trouble on the weekends. They pop on piss tests. They do just all kinds of jacked up shit.
Yeah, they weren't there for the aspect of being a Marine. They were just there to be there, I guess.
Yeah.
I was there because I wanted to be a Marine and I wanted to go to war. I was just that's what I wanted to do, and I figured lumping away from the infantry guys, nothing against them. We supported them. The Marine Scout Sniper's job is to support those guys, so it's completely nothing against them. But I felt like venturing out of that and going down this other path would give me more of an opportunity to get what I wanted. So,
yeah.
And I wasn't gonna not take advantage of that if I had the opportunity. Why not? If I'm going to do this, why not try to do as much as I can, than just go through the fucking motions, and be the everyday, Groundhog Day bullshit.
So fast forward a year from, your enlistment date, and you get orders to, 1st Marine Division Scout Sniper School. Like, you're leaving fucking 3-4. Your real journey's fucking begun.
That's right around the corner though, too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, 3-4 is Palms. Where was 3-4?
Yeah,
that's what I thought.
Really? Okay.
So
for some reason I was thinking they were on Pendleton. Okay.
No,
I wish.
2-4, the Bastard Battalion was with me at San Mateo at 5th Marines.
That's what I was thinking of.
So 3-4 was down fucking south, dude, and they definitely got it in the war for sure. So yeah, and this is where old fucking Lilly and Hamilton fucking.
I'll never forget, man, when it was me and Rob who got selected to go to, and I think there was 2 other guys, but they were senior Marines that went to sniper school. Forget their names. Yeah, it was 4 of us from our platoon that went.
Awesome.
And me and Rob Morris, who I'll never forget. He had a car. I didn't have a car at the time, but he drove Sunday night. I think we were going down there. Check-in was Monday.
Yeah.
But we ate dinner right outside of Pendleton. I forget where it was. It was like Denny's or some bullshit. And we were sitting there, and we both just kind of were like, "What in the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we getting into, man?"
Yeah.
We didn't have a fucking clue. We just heard stories. So
yeah,
and our senior Marines didn't. It wasn't fucking rainbows and sunshine they were talking about. So we knew we were in for it. I had just no idea what. So I quickly found out though.
How long is that course?
When we went through it was 12 weeks, 3 months.
I was getting ready to say it's almost damn near equivalent to boot camp time frame. So yeah, somewhere around 3 months in totality.
My first memory, the first day of check-in, Lily was getting yelled at by.
Yes, I was. Hughes. Yeah.
Hughes was fucking yelling at you. You went in to check in. I was like, if he's yelling at the senior guy with deployments, what the fuck is he going to do to me?
Oh, your hair?
Yeah, his haircut.
So Marsoc just stood up in like 8 months, bro. I check in to fucking.
You have a mohawk and a beard?
Yeah, basically.
I fucking show up to first IMSOB with definitely some libo hair, bro. I'm talking, it's like literally Navy Rex, dude. I had sideburns. I had fucking 3.5 inches of hair. And I mean, dude, I'm used to that. At our unit, no one gave a fuck, dude. It was strictly about fucking training and operating, dude.
Yeah, as it should be. Really?
Yeah, and I'm going to fucking sniper school. I'm like, I'm in a bro school.
You're like more cool dudes.
No,
dude,
no. Sean Hughes, who I fucking love to death, and I take a bullet for tonight.
Same.
Fucking was the staff in CYC. He took over Dickinson's position. He highly cerebral motherfucker. 4 eyes. He had glasses. He just looked fucking smart, dude. He just saw me, and I check in and do the fucking what's up, and they're
your
just
panties were all faded, bro. I don't even know if you had your boots bloused, bro.
Dude, my boots were bloused. They were
on the low side.
Yeah, but he was wearing fucking probably Oakley boots or some shit.
And he was. Your boots were bloused as low as your fucking haircut, bro.
Dude, and I had some gunny rolls. I mean, I looked like I was an ODA guy.
Gunny rolls.
Dude, straight up.
For sure.
And I was a corporal, so
yeah, you were.
I got out as a fucking corporal, and I was out of the Marine Corps for almost 2 years, so I didn't pick up rank, dude. So I came in and started time and service all over. I was a fucking boot in a way.
Shit.
Even though I did point noise. I almost got kicked the fuck out of sniper school day one, dude.
I know. I remember.
Holy shit.
That was my most vivid memory of that whole thing is that first day you get yelled at.
Dude, Marsoc would have, didn't you say Marsoc told you if you didn't fucking make it, you're done, right?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Oh, if you didn't graduate sniper school, you're done?
Done. Out of the unit.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, dude. The pressure was great. I had it on both ends, dude.
The first day you were off to a good start. All right.
He's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll show up like a college student. I don't give a fuck.
That was great, man. That really set the precedent for the rest of the course.
It did. I was dude, I'm like, this isn't a gentleman's course, man. This is fucking.
This is not the Navy.
Nah, dude. I'm like, why did I was out of the Marine Corps for 2 years. I've been wearing flip flops for 2 years, dude. And now I'm like, I was only in for 2 months, dude. So I was like him.
You were basically like me a little bit, just different level. You'd already just done it before.
I'd done it before, but it was locked away in some suitcase in some back room, dude. I've been fucking surfing and eating goddamn burritos in San Diego for 2 years, man.
Jesus Christ.
Bro, showed up with long hair, and then he's looking at me getting yelled at. Dude, it fucking sucked day one. I was like, goddamn. So,
oops. All right.
So,
how many people were in your class total?
20, 22,
20. What was your what was the attrition? How many people?
Well, there was 26 to start with.
You have a better
memory. There was 26 or 28 to start with, and we graduated with 18 or something.
18. Okay, well, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. Lose 10 guys. That's not too bad.
We had a pretty good class, honestly. We
did. We had some really good instructors too. I mean, honestly,
really good instructors. Really good. Lily and Jax were in the class, so they were having them in. I learned quite a bit from those two guys alone. It was like having instructors 24/7. Really. For me. Did you
even know about Generation Kill beforehand?
I had no fucking idea. I just knew that y'all were fucking some special unit dudes that were coming, and then
Jason didn't offer to
show up and look like it. So I was like, man, these guys, where the fuck did they come from? And then y'all get yelled at, and I was like, oh, if they're getting yelled at, this is all right. I could probably do this.
Yeah,
Jason, you weren't offering to sign fucking autographs or anything the first day?
Bro, no. And Marsoc was hated at that time, dude.
They were hated by everybody.
Dude, we were every Marine's a fucking rifleman.
Yeah.
Dude, 03s know this shit. So, no offense to my Pogue brothers out there, but and sisters. But, yeah, dude, we were fucking hated, man. And it was a hard time, dude. It was a great time, but it was a hard time. I'm fucking used to getting beat down, so what the fuck ever, man, bring it. But dude, there was no love. No one gave a fuck what unit we were from. Gave a fuck about Generation Kill or Recon. You were just another. You were a fucking dirty pig, dude. You got to earn your keep. So
correct.
So correct. Yeah, all right, day one, dude. So what? Walk me through, your sniper school experience. I have a memory of you by then. We'll get to that. I think it was you.
Day one, Jason's getting sodomized. Day two.
I don't really remember anything other than that first day, other than that happening. I don't even remember me going in. I don't even remember what he asked me or what we even talked about. I just specifically remember you getting yelled at and Jax was with you, I think, and he was just kind of shaking his head God damn it. Fuck. I honestly don't even remember. I think I walked in, asked me my name, rank. I really don't remember anything else.
Easy check.
I really don't have like, I mean, do you remember day-to-day shit then? I just remember a big blur and like, I remember the 4-minute hill. I remember
See, I don't remember that.
You don't
What's
remember
that?
I don't remember that. Yeah.
What about what was the hill called that when we were in the schoolhouse, someone right out the back you'd run up? You remember that? Was it the 3-minute hill or 4-minute hill? I had the record on that hill for like 2 months and then it got broken.
Shit, I don't remember that at all, bro. That's a great memory.
You don't remember running out of the classroom? It would be like
that whole area back there. The hills are fucking ridiculous,
dude. Yeah, SOI,
terrible.
San Onofre is because you have Alpha Shelp to the south, and the north I think is what you're talking about because there were some fighting positions up there. I do remember now.
But yeah, that hill, I remember a lot running up that hill. Almost every day we'd run. I think it was a 4-minute hill. I'm pretty sure. Maybe it was 2 minutes. You have 2 minutes, and you guys just have to start running. They just say you have 2 minutes. And you have to start running and try to make it back in 2 minutes.
I think I was just so used to that environment at that point. I've been through so many schools.
Yeah, it was just another fucking thing.
Yeah, I was a big runner, so I think that's probably why I'm fucking. But I remember that approach.
I think the first time they did that, I got first. Like I finished first, and I was like, oh wow. But I was in probably like I couldn't get tired at that point in my life. Like I couldn't get tired.
So Patrick and our viewers out there, this motherfucker, my memory of him initially was he was a cocky, young, eager, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, but just fucking full of fucking just like, let's get it the fuck on. So my memories of you, if I look back at those times of just like, you were a mouthy little fuck, dude. And like, not that I wanted to like punch you, but I was
Jackson wanted to punch me.
He did for sure.
He might have punched me. I think he did punch me. He threw me down one time.
Dude, Jackson almost got into it. That fucking, I don't even remember that thing.
Everybody did, bro. They fucking pushed it. They pushed it.
So I'll skip to one part that I remember about you, and I'll never forget it. And that goes to our broship that we both earned quickly. That respect. I mean, we were all getting beat down, so we're all bros at that point for the most part, except for Uribe. Fuck that guy. I got stories about that dude. So we all rotated through like class leader positions, like class commander or whatever the fuck you want to call it. So I was a class leader for a week or whatever the fucking time was, and we were in stalking phase, which I fucking loved. It was my bread and butter, man.
Yeah, that was great, man. Fucking loved it too.
Fucking homeboy. So we took like fucking 7 tons or 7 tons out to these like stalking lanes, and you come up to me, and I swear to God, this is you, dude. You're like, hey, dude, I fucking left my bolt back in the cage. Do you remember this?
Yes, I do.
So I'm like, we're all gonna get punished. 1, we're all gonna get punished. 2, he's gonna fail this fucking this course, this day. Like that one shoot, he's gonna fail it, and he could get dropped.
How many stocks were you allowed to fail? What, 2 or something like that?
2. There was 10 stocks. I do remember there was 10.
If you failed if you got less than 70 on 2 of them, yeah, you didn't.
You were out. Yeah, 70. You're right. It was like C and higher. So he pulls me aside, dude, and he's just like, "Hey, man, I fucking left my bolt," which is easy to do. We're running on fucking fumes, dude. I mean, we. Hardly
especially stalking week. Yeah, stalking week's pretty shitty.
We're going off 2, 3, 4 hours of sleep a night for a long time. And easy mistake. I've done some dumb shit, dude, and it just happened. And he's like, hey, man, he had the balls to fucking tell me. He's like, hey, bro, I left my fucking bolt. Like, what should I do? And I was just like, somehow in my tired state, I'm like, I always shot first. That was like my deal. I wouldn't veg up a lot. I'd veg on the way. And then get to my position, my FFP, and I'd fucking shoot first. And I was always the first to fucking shoot. So I was like, yo, dude, I'll do exactly what I was doing. I'll get behind you on the way to the finish line, basically, where you had to go, where the trucks are at. And I'll fucking shoot first. But then you get directly in front of me, and you did. You got like 20, 30, 40, 50 feet in front of me. And I fucking shot, did my thing, passed, and I dropped the fucking bolt right next to you, dude. I mean, they're fucking – M40A3 is the same fucking goddamn bolt. So he put it in and he fucking shot and he passed that day. So,
I think we both got hundreds, bro.
Yeah, we both did. I ended up getting, this is where I toot my own horn, man. I ended up getting high stalker from that.
So here's a question. And I've shot a ton and all this stuff, but I've never been through sniper school. I don't know a ton about the school. So you're saying like, oh, if you're 70 or below, they're going to fail you for that stock. How do you get 100? I know there's the whole where the guy walks up and he's like sniper at your feet or whatever. They try to guide you in. Where does that grading process come from?
So go ahead, bro.
If I remember correctly, and you just cut in any time if I'm saying something wrong, you start with 100, right? Right when they start the stock, you have 100. You make it to a shooting position. You have to get within a certain yard line of them, for one. And each stock lane, I think, varied, right? Each stock lane kind of had a different
distance
or max distance. Once you got to a position without, getting, and they could freeze it. They could see you basically during your stock and freeze, and they could try to walk on you, and they might not find you, and you can keep going after that. But then oh fuck, they're looking where I am. But you make it to your shooting position, you take a shot, and then that you ID. No, you take a shot, and then they see if they can find you, right?
Right.
Then they hold up ID cards. Then you ID, and then you take another shot while they're looking where you are.
In the area.
Yeah, the walker's within 10 paces or something of you.
So the walker is another instructor. He's cadre, and he's got this fucking broomstick handle.
With a red tip on it, yeah.
With a red tip, but it's like it's black and white, I think, taped on the way down. So which is easier because they're wearing camis. Here's the thing, though, guys. Camp Pendleton's known for, it's not like the East Coast where it's like heavy green vegetation. There is a lot of vegetation, but it's like prairie grass in a way.
Yeah,
it's brush.
Camp Pendleton in 2007, a month before that, burnt the fuck down. All of it. It jumped the 5. Winds moving east to west. The fire jumped the Interstate 5 and burned all the way to the coast. So we were the first sniper class after the massive 2000. And dude, we're wearing black camouflage. We're painting our faces black. So we were wearing, instead of green, we were wearing fucking tan fucking camis, desert camis with fucking black paint and shit. Like, wow. There wasn't a lot of vegetation, man. So that's crazy. Not only is it a hard school, but they were hard conditions locally at that time and space. So the suck factor was definitely up there for sure. So yeah, man, that stalking was fucking epic. So it was get to your position. I don't know how many instructors were out there, but they're walking around and basically they see all the Marines, they see all the students, right? But they got these 7 tons, excuse me, I'm dating myself, the 7 tons.
There's also barriers each side. Forgot to mention, you can't go out of these limits of this.
Like lateral limits left and right.
Exactly. Yeah. So you've got 2 or 3 guys on glass. They were Vipers with 4x, I think, on them. And so you got these instructors that are trained U.S. fucking scout snipers that have seen.
How far away are you guys from the 7 ton?
We usually started like 1,500 meters or 1,000 meters away.
Yeah, 15 to 1,000 start, and that elevation would change. Like I think our first one was the Fishbowl, and that was San Clemente by like Talega by the Hand. I think that was our first one.
Oh yeah.
I remember that because on the practice end of it, I was the quickest like in history to get caught. Dude, I'm like, I was cocky as fuck, dude. I'm coming from like 04 Fallujah time frame with Vipers. I'm like, these motherfuckers can't see me. Like, there's no way, dude. And I didn't know they had the 4x on there. So they were 4x magnified plus whatever the natural one was at the time. They were Vectors or Vipers, and I can't remember. Dude, they saw me in the first 30 seconds.
It was that fast.
It was that fast. I don't even remember that, dude.
I almost failed that stock due to time because you got busted, and I was like, oh, fuck. And I crawled like my ass the entire time. And I didn't really even need to. I didn't really get it at the time, yet. But you got busted so fast, it took me so long to get up to my shooting.
Dude, it was one of the most humbling experiences of my military career. I didn't think they could see me. You're starting at the same level as them. elevation wise, but then it drops into this low brush filled nastiness. And they can still see you, right? But like, dude, you're starting out. So they're seeing all these motherfuckers online, like vegging the fuck up. I didn't veg up, dude. I just quickly was going to get down to the bowl, and that's what I was going to veg was my plan. Now, whatever instructor, they talked him onto me, and they're like, fucking pig at your feet. So basically, when they think he's within like 3 feet of you, thus they pig at your feet. He was standing on top of me like a surfboard. And I heard the radio chatter. I'm laying there fucking, and he's like, pig at your feet. And I like looked up slowly, and he's like, who the fuck is that? I'm like, Lily. And then over the radio, you hear, who is that? They're like, Lily. They're like, Lily. This is like, a couple
We can see his hair.
Dude, so I went back, and I was like, I got to fucking, dude, I'm going to fail this course if I don't fucking tighten up.
Yeah, that would have been a fail. If you get busted before you get to your fire positions and fail, you fail. That's a failure.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and you have to bear crawl back.
That was a non-graded one-time practice stock, if I remember right.
Oh, okay.
So they just let us kind of get a feel for it. And I'll do 30 seconds, bro. Like,
You're like, I am a big dumb animal.
Yeah, we go through all that shit, dude. We graduate. So walk us through, how was graduation from you?
He's like, I got my certificate and left.
Yeah. Well, we were deploying like 3 weeks after I graduated.
Damn. So you were deploying with Stay Platoon, right?
Yeah, correct.
Of course, to Iraq and into
January 2008. Yeah, we did. So we graduated sniper school, December 2007, December 18th, 2007. And I think I deployed to Iraq mid-January of 2008. So like maybe a month or a little less than a month we deployed to it.
Dude, you went from fucking
0 to 100.
Partying in San Antonio, boot camp, SOI, boot leave, fucking sniper school, Iraq. I mean, that's fast.
Yeah, it was pretty quick. I remember being on the 7th. We landed in Al-Assad Air Base. We landed there, and we were on the 7-ton driving to our FOB and hit the train station and hit. And we were on that 7-ton, and I was like looking around, and I like looked down at myself, and I was like, I'm in a movie. I'm in a fucking movie. I'm in the videos I've been watching, for fucking 4 years. I'm here now. Fuck. It was a pretty surreal moment. And from then on, it was just game on, this is it. It was game on for sure.
How much use did the Stay Platoon get within like the realm of your mission while you were there? Like, I mean, were you guys doing other bullshit unrelated to what Stay Platoon is supposed to be doing, or were you just like?
Of course, yeah, we were.
Yeah, I mean, I know that always happens. But.
Yeah, we did a lot of patrolling with the grunts, just to have with Mark 11s, just so they had a little bit longer range of an asset.
Yep,
a lot of patrolling. That was probably what we did most, honestly. That deployment was like. There wasn't much going on at the time. It was right after the Marine the deployment before that. The Marines came in and had to come support the Army, and there was a lot of fighting in HIT. But when we got there, it had pretty much died out. There was a few engagements then, but what it did is we ran a lot of missions, a lot of counter ID, just surveillance, and each mission I was just waiting for something. Like I wanted a gunfight, please. Like almost every mission, I would be like thinking to myself, please be the one, please be the one. Never really got to get in a gunfight, really. Like I said, there was a couple of engagements with the Army unit that was with us. They got into when we were supporting them. Never really got to do anything. A lot of drone stuff, Predator stuff. But we ran, I don't know, a ton of missions, and they were almost like practice. There was guys getting blown up all the time. It was real. I mean, people were, dying, but it wasn't what I thought. And I was like, fuck, man.
Yeah. And that was when the EFPs really started to come around. that's when that stuff started ramping up. And
correct,
fuck, dude, that's some scary shit. So, and
yeah,
for you guys, for anybody that's listening, you don't know, EFPs, explosive form penetrator. They were basically like
a cannon.
IEDs, right, with a copper plate covering it, and that they just, when they would explode, that copper would
Liquefy.
basically wrap into a dart and could punch through almost any armor. And they were fucking super scary. And that's when all the guys, all the fucking Army and Marine Corps guys really started, experiencing severe casualties. And
correct.
that shit was nasty.
Yeah, and probably 90% of our missions were IED interdiction, trying to find guys putting in IEDs. That was like 90% our mission. But a lot of them were, we were out pretty good duration of times, 5 to 7 day missions.
Just a lot of Overwatch to certain areas and stuff.
Insert before the grunts got there kind of thing, observe before they get there, observe them while they're there, and then let them leave. And then we leave watching certain areas of roads or highways. But what it did is it really prepared me and for what was to come. And what was to come was Afghanistan. But what it also did is kind of put a little bit of complacency on me, because it wasn't what I thought. I didn't get anything. Well, I thought I didn't get anything out of it. But in reality, I learned how to fucking be a scout sniper, really, and what our job was. And that really set me up for success. And I think our platoon up for success for our next deployment. And that was a little different.
So you got obviously deployed back to the United States. And how long were you back in the States? Like, how long before you guys were slotted to go to Afghanistan?
I think we had 9 months. We had 9 months back.
You were still with 3-4?
Yeah, came back with 3-4, and then I think we had 9 months until our next deployment slot. Luckily, I mean, being stationed at 29 Palms, it sucks. I mean, go from desert, but pretty much same atmosphere to same atmosphere. But luckily for me, and another timing thing, I got to go in between those deployments. I got to go to Urban Sniper and Mountain Scout Sniper as well. So nice. I didn't really spend much time in 29 Palms. I was always training. Also went to, what was that radio course called? That recon radio course, Lily, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I don't remember the name.
Went to that too. The long range, like recon or long range radio, something where you learn how to set up antennas,
comms and stuff. Yeah.
Did that.
Do you? Not to cut you off, brother, but you're speaking to my sniper background too, man. Do you remember any of the instructor names of Urban or Mountain?
Yes. Now that you put me on the spot, damn, I follow some. I have some.
I follow his TikTok.
Did you meet Walt Hasser?
Walt Hasser, yes. Walt Hasser was my instructor. Really fucking good dude. There's one other guy that really stands out, and I can't think of his name. If you wouldn't have asked me, I probably would have said it.
They're really good friends, man. He's a shorter dude. I think.
Yeah, Walt Hasser was one of my instructors.
Yeah, Walt was a recon dude with me. He was actually at my wedding as well. He's a groomsman. So
and that came up when I was in there. I told him we talked about you because I told him I went to basic with you, and that's kind of I knew y'all knew each other. And there's one other guy that knew you as well. I think that taught that. I can't think of his name now.
There's a dude that starts with a J who was a fuck instructor with Walt. I know you know him. He was there instructing you. It's like Jake. It's a unique name.
Yeah, it is. I know what you're talking about. And that course was probably the most fun I had in the Marine Corps.
Where's the Urban Sniper course at?
Pendleton.
Okay.
Yeah, it's at Pendleton, right? It's at, we're 2-4. We're 2-4.
Yeah, was it EWTG or SOTG that taught that?
Yeah, SOTG.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's right. Special Operations Training Group, I believe, is what that is.
Those dudes are all gone now.
Yeah. So you graduate these. So our listeners out there, like sniper school is like, it's like that one school that every fucking fighting Marine truly wants to get, right? It's like this. It's within the fighting realm. It's like this one area that's just kind of untouchable. You can't talk shit on it. Like, oh damn, dude, like and it's not a fucking hard, or it's not an easy school. It's a really hard school, and you guys that go through it are pretty young to be put through such. The math is hard. It's just a hard school. So these other schools are fine tuning this blunt object of a sniper into a very well-rounded sniper. So you're learning new trades within the sniper realm, different guns, different ballistics, different altitudes, different angles, how to shoot from, we're shooting pretty basically for the most part in the basic sniper course, but these schools teach you how to shoot from, what are those goddamn holes again?
Loopholes.
Loopholes, thank you. Loophole formulas.
Shooting through objects, through glass type
through
stuff.
Glass, through objects.
Closer engagement stuff, shooting bolt gun standing, moving, shooting type stuff.
Kilos, helicopters.
Platforms.
It
was a great school. I learned probably the most in that school. It was a good learning environment. It wasn't balls to the wall and fucking dead tired. You actually got to sleep and eat.
That's a little bit more because it is an advanced course, right? It's a little bit more of a gentleman's course, a little bit more. You're there to learn, not get fucking hazed.
Correct. It was a great course, but that set me up for failure thinking Mountain Scout Sniper would be the same thing. And Mountain Scout Sniper was literally the 2-week field portion of Mountain Scout Sniper was probably the hardest thing I ever did in my life.
Oh, wow. Really?
I swear to God, hardest. And I think that's what really broke my back. That's what started my back injuries is Mountain Scout Sniper. Because I got back from deployment, had leave, went to Urban Sniper. That was 2 months, had another month off, and then went to Mountain Scout Sniper, and it was in February. And it was a gentleman's course, right?
That's in Bridgeport too, right? It's in Bridgeport.
It's in Bridgeport, yeah, and it's in Hawthorne, Nevada. So you go, and we did 2 weeks of high angle shooting in Hawthorne, Nevada, on a place called Rocket Mountain.
Yep.
Really fucking cool place. Another place where I have very vivid memories and how fucking cool it was to be doing that. We camped out on the top of this place called Rocket Mountain where they used to test, I don't know what rockets, but they used to test rockets. They had rocket pads up there. And in these abandoned or old rocket pads is where we set up our tents, our one-man tents to sleep in. And then the instructors had a hooch in the back that was pretty dope. But we spent, I think it was 10 days up there just shooting high angle stuff. There were still pay to be a winner moments, where they'd fuck with you a little bit. That's also where I first started shooting a fucking pistol as well.
Hell yeah.
That's where we kind of got more into shooting pistols. And that was my first, I didn't think I had a pistol at that time. And we were using those piece of shit fucking Berettas, dude.
Yeah.
God damn. Those fucking things. But anyway.
I hate those things.
The course itself, the shooting part was fucking great. Great atmosphere outside the whole time, living on top of this mountain. And they don't really prepare you for what's to come, the field portion, the movement portion of the exercise. But we inserted on our field portion, we were running a FX, a fake mission basically. And I believe in the end, it was a 102 click movement over it was 5 days. But on an insert, you remember the snow cats? Did you ever ride in those? Those fucking little...
No, but I know what you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah, those little snow cats, we're inserting in those, and there's 3 of them. And there's 2 teams of 6, I believe. 2 teams of 6. And
so
we insert...
I'll cut you off. Our listeners out there, a snow cat is this metal tin can with fucking tank tracks, and it's for snow-laden environments. So
you can go anywhere.
Yeah.
And it's literally a tin can. It's not fucking pleasant to be in. But on insert, man, we almost didn't insert because it was whiteout. It was blizzard. It was blizzard conditions. There was weather coming in. It was probably 3 p.m. when we inserted. But I remember getting out and looking around, and I was like, fuck. Because another thing is, I failed to completely mention the day you get 2 days prior to this movement to learn how to ski, right? I'm from fucking Texas. I think I maybe skied once in my life.
Yeah.
I didn't know what fucking skins were. I didn't know you could put skins on the bottom of your skis and ski up fucking hill, right? I had no idea. So I was like, all this was so new to me. And not to mention, the fucking skis and the boots were from the 70s and 80s. We had leather fucking boots to go into these skis that were from the 70s and 80s. So
this sounds about right.
That was our gear. And then on top of that, you're carrying a sled that's wrapped around your waist, full of your sleeping gear, your cooktops, your whatever, all the heavy shit. You have a ruck on, you have a rifle. So anytime you fall, you have to unstrap the fucking sled, throw off your ruck, stand up, put the sled back on, put your ruck back on, and go. So every time you fall, it's 5-10 minutes. Right.
For listeners out there, this ruck, this backpack that you're wearing, I'm guessing it's like every other school, is sitting around 100 pounds.
Yeah, 80 to 100 pounds probably.
Yep.
Hey, Jason, back up from your mic a little bit.
But yeah, so just learning that you could ski uphill with skins was new to me. And the next day was going to be a 5-day movement. And I'm starting to fucking question, like, oh, fuck, this is not what I thought. I thought we were going to be out, frolicking in the snow, having a good time, shooting in the snow. But yeah, that movement, I mean, I won't get too much into that movement, but the insert, I vividly remember the point man on I was point, and I looked back and I can only see like 3 guys back because of how wide out it was.
Damn.
And that first night, it was fucking, we dug a snow coffin, and we had our tent at the time. So each night, I also didn't mention, each night the instructors would take a piece of your gear away. So at the end of it, well, I'll get to the end of it, but the first night we had a tent, so it was pretty cozy. We dug pretty much a big, dug out in the snow, built up the walls, so it was pretty cozy. But after that first night, all that snow, the next day it was prime for avalanche conditions, right? It was just prime. And we were in either skis or snowshoes. It was mainly we spent probably 70% of the time in the skis, just because how deep the snow was and how soft it was. So snowshoeing in that's fucking it's like running up a sand hill, 1 step forward or 2 steps forward, 1 step back type thing.
Yeah. Hey, Luke, what do you recall the altitude?
Anywhere from 8 to 12,000 feet.
Wow.
But yeah, the next day was prime for avalanche, and I believe I was walking point again, or right behind the point man. No, I was walking point this day, and sun was out, it was beautiful, and we were kind of traversing along this hillside. It wasn't very steep, but it was, we were in the mountains, pretty large, and geographically speaking. And I'm, trucking along, breaking trail. Breaking trail also sucks because you're the first guy walking through, 2 feet of snow. So you're breaking trail for the other guys. Well, the snow in front of me cracked a little bit, and I was like, whatever. Keep skiing. And then the crack opens up like pretty big and splits like to the point where I couldn't see it. And I was like, guys, we got to turn around. We got to fucking go back. And that's the last thing you want to hear on the movement like this. Turn around and go back, because you've already, made ground. Now we just have to go back and waste hours of time, because one guy falls, it's 5 minutes, and we were falling all the fucking time. But just to say that Marine Corps Mountain Sniper course movement was the hardest thing I ever did in my life. I almost quit. That was the closest I ever came to quitting.
I'm so glad you brought that up, brother. The special operations community is riddled with moments like that for the individual that's
very much
seeking to attain said title, whether it be a graduate of Mountain Sniper, a SEAL, SWIC, Raider Recon, doesn't matter, Ranger. There's these moments where each individual, I think probably every individual, reaches a point to where you question what the fuck you're doing, and why you're there. How did you overcome that, dude? Like go back to that thought process of, this is fucking hard. I might ring the fucking bell.
I want to say one more thing before I answer that. What makes that even more of a real question is, so the first 2 weeks, like I said, was high angle shooting. Our class was pretty small, but we had a couple of Army Rangers in our class, 4 of them.
Oh, cool.
Our qual shoot, the day we qualled on Rocket Mountain, we had 50-mile-per-hour winds, gusts up to 50-mile-per-hour winds, and we're shooting high angle off on Rocket Mountain, right? And also going through the course was 2 instructors, new instructors. So an instructor that is going up there to be an instructor has to run the course and pass. And out of I believe it was 8 or 10 guys, 4 guys passed the shoot. Me and my partner failed the shoot. So I didn't get a certificate for mountain sniper. And after that shoot, after they're like, all right, shoot's over. Here's the guys that failed. Here's the guys that passed. It was the 2 instructors that passed and 2 other senior Marines that passed. I failed by like 3 or 4 points. But I shit you not, a lot of people say and exaggerate the winds. I have a video of right before I shoot. The winds were so fucking crazy. It was luck if you passed. But to speak to the point I'm getting to, me and my partner failed. The Army Rangers failed. The instructors, when we got back to the mountain portion, were like, hey, you guys that failed, you guys don't have to stay if you don't want to and do this and finish it. The Army Rangers left. Me and my partner stayed, even though we weren't getting a certificate, and completed it. So, so at those moments where I was like, I'm going to fucking quit this. I mean, if I quit, it doesn't matter because I'm not getting anything for this anyways, right?
That is such a devil on your shoulder. That is such a
that was talking to me the whole fucking time, dude.
The whole time.
The whole time. That's all I was thinking about. It's like, this is going to be nothing. And why the fuck am I doing it? You know? But honestly, I guess, I don't, you're a Marine, dude. You don't quit. You don't fucking quit. Regardless, you don't fucking quit. Not any other Marines quit other than those Army Rangers, and I wasn't going to be the one guy that fucking quit, right? So
yeah,
if these guys aren't quitting, I'm not going to quit. If these guys are doing it, I can do it. Even if I feel broken, even though I can't ski, even though I don't know as much as these guys, I'll still do it. It's not going to stop me from just moving forward.
Yeah, man.
But I swear to God, I contemplated quitting on the last day of the movement. It was so brutal, man. And the last day of the movement, it stretched. We were supposed to be in our shooting position before the sun went down, and it was like 11 o'clock at night. The instructors were out looking for us, and we had to go up this one last fucking hill, and we had snowshoes on. And me and my partner, there was a few guys probably like 30 meters in front of us, and I was dragging ass. My snowshoe broke. I was like inching along up this fucking hill, and it was like probably 11, 12 at night. And I was on the side of the mountain, stopped, hunched over, cold as fuck. And I was just like, I just remember thinking to myself, I was like, it can't get any worse. Like this is peak bottom. Like this is just it. This is like the very bottom I could be. And I had like 500 more yards to go. Get to our spot in that sunrise. I have a picture of that sunrise that morning under this massive fucking tree. I think it was a cedar tree. It was huge, but it was just such a cool experience to have that. And then we got to shoot a mock mission the next day from high angle. It was fucking great. Came down, woke up in like 2 a.m. that night. We came off the mountain, and I woke up to my hands just fucking, it felt like I was putting my hands like right above fire and just holding them there. And when I looked at my hands, every finger was like twice the size it should have been. Wow. So I run to the medic tent, and I'm like, guys, they're like, oh, your hands are thawing out. I had frostbite on my ears, my hands, toes. Still to this day, I mean, just holding a fucking cold can, my hand starts fucking hurting from that shit. But definitely not for the faint of heart. Mountain Scout Sniper in the winter, man, is no fucking joke, man. That was harder than anything I ever did.
I heard every word you said. You mentioned the sunrise and the tree, and I had a memory replaying in my head during that whole time you're speaking, and you were there. Go back to basic sniper school course, and you remember the mission where we made a movement and we had to get to extract, and it was on top of this fucking ridgeline. They changed
it. Remember, we got to the extract, and they're like, "Oh, you have to move to your tertiary extract," and we were like,
"Yes."
What?
And it was on top of this ridgeline,
steep fire break,
dude. At night, middle of fucking night, dude.
Last day of our op too. We were already dead. I mean, we had no energy, no food, barely any water type shit.
We get to the top like 2 a.m, And this is my backyard. This is like Raider Battalion's backyard. And it's pretty fucking steep north and northwest there because Pulgas, Las Pulgas is right there. So you know that area. So I lost my fucking boonie up there, dude. So the winds were insane. So they're like, okay, there's supposed to be a helo extract, which we thought was real. And by close to the time this helo was supposed to fucking pick us up, they're like, hey, helo's not making it. We've got a secondary Humvee picking you up on the MSR below. So do you remember we ran down this fire break? We were stoked to get the fuck off the top.
They made us go up and they just told us to come right back down.
Right back down. We get in the back of this Humvee. Do you remember this?
Yes, I remember this.
So our instructor, God rest his soul, he's no longer with us. I don't know if you knew this, that Colt Shermer is no longer.
Yeah, I heard about that. He was my lead instructor.
So Shermer was a recon bubba with me. I did OIF 1 and 2 with him. He recently passed away, sadly. And he was driving this Humvee. We got in the back of this Humvee. My partner was Burton. So you have there's 2-man teams in sniper school. Who was your partner?
And the end of it was that reserve guy. The guy Wimp came with.
I don't know who that is.
He wasn't much of a help during that mission. He left that up to me, honestly.
So mission prep, it's up to you what you want to bring. And we're Scout Sniper School, Recon School, like it's known for chuckle smoke for fucking CS gas. So they're like, you got to bring a fucking gas mask. And I tell Bert, I'm like, dude, fuck that fucking lunchbox. I'm not carrying this.
Yeah, I'm not wasting space for that thing.
No, and it's
oh god,
guys, it's fucking literally 15, 16 inches by fucking 8 inches thick. It's this big, green, massive, like fuck that, dude.
Yeah, they're a pain in the ass.
We get in the back of this high back tarped Humvee, starts it. Colt Shermer comes back around, opens up. And I'm at the very back end of it. Burton's across, and we're like maybe, I think our entire class is in this, or is it two?
There's two of them. There's two Humvees, and our class was in both of them.
That's right.
Class was in both of them.
I don't know if you were in there with me or the other one, but Shermer opens it up, and he's like, and he has it in his hand. He's like, chuckle smoke time, and I'm like, bring it. And he was like talking to me, kind of like we're bros. And he was kind of out of instructor, and I was like, fuck yeah, I'm afraid no chuckle smoke. Dude, he threw it. It landed on my ruck. My ruck caught on fire.
Burned a hole into it.
Burned a hole. We all have rubber M4s with, I don't think we are M4s. I think they were M16s.
They were M16s.
And do we have our long guns, our actual long guns? I think we're in there with us, right?
Yeah, we had our long guns. They're T-boned.
Yeah. So this thing's going off, bro. And he shuts the fucking back end. And I'm just like looking at Burton. Him and I are the only ones without gas mask, dude. So I'm like eating it up.
He's like, you motherfucker.
No, I was like, dude, you guys are bitches, man. Like, fuck this. I have never panicked. I've never fucking anxiety. I need a Xanax. I'm going to die. I can't breathe. No oxygen. None. It's gone, dude. Like, I thought I was going to fucking die, bro. And everyone else.
It was so potent in the back of those, dude. It was so potent. It was like breathing in. I don't even remember.
There was no. You're not supposed to put it in enclosed areas like that, dude. Like it's like a square foot rule with this thing. So you got
I got Humvees. Yeah, the smallest thing you could be in, basically.
You've got Marines ingesting and exhaling CO2. There's no air. There's no O2. And it's burning the O2. So I like fuck it. And I jumped out the back.
Superman's out the back.
He started the Humvee. We're going 15. He doesn't have a fucking gas mask on. It's so bad, it's compromised the fucking cab of the Humvee.
Holy shit. He
puts it in park. He's puking. He's fucking projectile snot. He dosed himself. This Humvee is shitting, puking Marines out the back. I jumped out at 20 plus miles an hour. We all did. I bent my fucking M16A4 fucking rubber rifle. I bent it like a wet noodle. All of my weight with my ruck, bent it. There's Marines. There's cars passing that are like civilians or random Marines. This is like, we're not in the middle of fucking nowhere. This is like the main MSR.
Right off the road, yeah.
That connects Flores to Las Pulgas. There's Marines everywhere fucking puking, dude. Like that was the single worst experience that entire course, bro.
Yeah, that was, and I thought we were done too. I was like, oh, this is it.
Time to relax.
I don't remember what happened after that, to be honest.
I don't either. We had I do remember we had to walk back to the schoolhouse.
That makes sense.
We had to walk back to the schoolhouse, and they're like, y'all are done if y'all can walk back. And we were like, all right.
We'll walk. Don't put me in that Humvee, dude.
You couldn't get in it, dude. It was fucking contaminated.
I remember being up on that hill, and the point of this whole story was with you and with the guys. And we had a break. And the wind was hucking up there, but you could see all of Camp Pendleton. It was pitch black. You could see the lights of fucking Oceanside. It was a beautiful, quiet moment. We just sat there exhausted, did the fucking rucksack flop and just sat there, dude. Like,
yeah, we had like 5 or 10 minutes up there.
It was great. So you graduate Mountain Sniper, dude.
Not really. I didn't graduate, but I finished it.
Graduated.
You completed it.
Finished it.
Completed it.
So you go back to the stumps, and how much longer after that before you guys went to Afghanistan?
It was pretty recent, I think. I don't remember how long exactly we deployed. I don't know, a few months after, probably.
That's a quick turnaround. That's a quick turnaround for a unit. I mean, if, like you said, you were in a couple schools and whatnot, I think it was 8 months back.
So,
wow, that's a quick
I think it was 8 months back, it was 8 months back, and then we deployed like a couple months after that, in 2009. Yeah.
Damn. So where did you guys touch down in Afghanistan? What, like RC South, or where were you guys at?
We first touched down in Leatherneck.
Yep.
That was my first experience in I think it was a C-17 combat landing.
Yep.
That was pretty fun. Made everybody shit themselves before we get there.
So let's back it up 2 seconds, brother.
Yeah.
You've done Iraq. You're a little salty. You're probably a corporal at this point.
Lance Corporal.
Lance Corporal.
Yep.
But you've had some stuff under your belt. You've getting to that season point. What are your thoughts going into Afghanistan comparatively to Iraq at this point?
This has been Savage Actual. Jason and Patrick are two former special operations guys who interview interesting guests who talk about video games, airsoft, and military subjects. Basically, they drink a lot of beer, talk about shooter games, and have fun. What's not to love? We hope you've enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. And the fellas will be back soon. But in the meantime, find them on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Savage Actual. Y'all be cool, and we'll see you next time.